Hello everybody, welcome to News on Screenshot. My name is Mazi Ezike, aka Bagwells, and today, listen to the anti-nuclear message from the world powers. This message is meant to prevent nuclear war and avoiding arms races. They said that they intend to maintain and further strengthen their national measures to prevent unauthorized and unintended use of nuclear weapons. Today, they say that they desire to work with all states with the ultimate goal of a world without nuclear weapons. Listen and watch this video. And as you watch this video, kindly hit on the like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next video.
Added, we each intend to maintain and further strengthen our national measures to prevent unauthorized or unintended use of nuclear weapons. The statement also pledged to abide by a key article in the NPT. Under the article, the states committed to full future disarmament of nuclear weapons. The statement comes despite major recent tensions between both China and Russia and their Western partners. Bilateral relations between the United States and Russia have fallen to their lowest point since the end of the Cold War. Russian troop buildup along the Ukrainian border raised fears of the Kremlin planning a new attack on its pro-Western neighbor. Talks between Russia and the United States on European security are expected in Geneva on the 10th of January. Relations between Washington and China are also at a low over a range of disagreements. Washington has repeatedly urged China to join it and Russia in a new arms control treaty. Despite the joint affirmation, Chinese Foreign Ministry has said that it will continue to modernize its nuclear arsenal for reliability and safety issues. China has called on the United States and Russia to reduce their stockpiles. The joint statement also came as the world powers seek to reach an agreement with Iran on reviving the 2015 deal. The latest round of talks is underway in Vienna to limit Iran's controversial nuclear drive. Now, the year 2022 may finally be the year when Iran revises its outdated Air Force fleet with advanced fighter jets. If reports are to be believed, the Islamic Republic is likely to buy the Russian Su-35E super flanker anytime soon. Now, this month itself, Iran and Russia will reportedly sign a 20-year defense agreement with $10 billion. Under the agreement, Moscow will supply Tehran with 24 Su-35SEs, 2 advanced S-400 air defense missile systems, and a military satellite. The Islamic Republic of Iran Air Force is made up of outdated fighters, especially when compared to its regional rivals. Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates both operate highly advanced variants of the F-15 and F-16, with the IRIF Tomcats, F-4 Phantom, IIS, F-5 Tiger IS, all of these were acquired before 1979, when Tehran was an ally of the United States. The super flankers fighter jets were originally intended for Egypt, but America threatened sanctions against Egypt under countering America's adversaries through Sanctions Act. So now 15 ready-to-fly Sukhoi 35 SEs will be delivered to Iran by mid-2022. That is, if the defense deal is completed in January. Acquisition of the advanced Su-35 will provide Iran with a huge boost. It will serve as a strong deterrent against any possible Israeli airstrike in the future. If the deal goes through, it will be a headache for the United States and its allies. There is also possibility of Russia also selling the S-400 air defense system to Iran. The existence of more S-400s in the vicinity poses a substantial threat to Israeli aircraft and US assets. Moreover, Israel's aerial superiority in Syria will be weakened by the deployment of the system. In a bid to capitalize on the ongoing differences between the Biden administration and the Gulf countries, Russia has been pushing its weapons to its region in recent years. Algeria and Turkey have also apparently expressed interest in the Su-35 combat jets. In a fresh blow to Donald Trump, New York's Attorney General Letitia James has now summoned former U.S. President along with his 2 eldest children, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka, as part of a fraud probe. Attorney General's office said in a statement that it is seeking testimony and documents from the Trump family. These summons are part of state's fraud inquiry into Trump's businesses and properties. The subpoenas come amid an ongoing civil investigation into Trump's organization and its executives and whether they manipulated the value of some of its assets. The civil investigation has been running parallel to criminal inquiry led by Bo James and Manhattan District Attorney's Office. These subpoenas were disclosed Monday in an unsealed court filing. Donald Trump, meanwhile, has moved to quash the subpoenas. In the court filing, Trump's lawyers argue that New York criminal and civil investigations are connected to each other and that James's office is trying to circumvent the entire jury process. So far, the investigation has resulted in tax evasion charges against Trump's organizations. Longtime Chief Financial Officer Alan Weisselberg. Shifting our focus now, Elizabeth Holmes, once the star of Silicon Valley, her startup called Theranos, promised to revolutionize the healthcare industry. But Holmes has now been found guilty of engaging in a multi-million-dollar scheme to defraud her investors. Prosecutors said that Holmes unknowingly lied about having technology which could make medical diagnosis using just a finger prick of blood. Holmes has been found guilty of 4 charges out of a total of 11, including conspiracy to commit fraud and 3 counts of wire fraud. She denied the charges, which carry a maximum prison term of 20 years each. She was not taken into custody and no date has been set for the sentencing. Holmes was found not guilty on 4 charges relating to defrauding the public.
U.S. Attorney Stephanie Hines, and she has said the jurors in this 15-week trial navigated a complex case amid a pandemic and scheduling obstacles. I thank the jurors for their thoughtful and determined service that ensured verdicts could be reached. The guilty verdicts in this case reflect Ms. Holmes' culpability in this large-scale investor fraud, and she must now face sentencing for her crimes.
The split verdict came after 7 days of deliberations by the jury, who were unable to reach consensus on 3 other counts. The trial went on for nearly 4 months, involved some 30 witnesses, as the prosecution tried to prove that Holmes knew the product she was selling was a sham. She personally put logos of pharma giants like Pfizer onto Theranos reports, praising the company's technology without their permission, and such reports were later shared with investors to inflate Theranos' credibility. Now, testifying in her own defense, Holmes maintained that she did not knowingly defraud patient investors but acknowledged mistakes in her company's operation. The defense also blamed Ramesh Sunny Palwani, her former business partner and long-term boyfriend. Holmes accused Palwani of emotional and sexual abuse allegations that he denies. Holmes founded Theranos as a teenager shortly after dropping out of chemical engineering at Stanford University. She raised up to more than $900 million from billionaires like Rupert Murdoch, Larry Ellison. The company officially shut in 2018 following the scandal and her indictment. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.